Hello, I'm Karen Khayat, pleased to present to you today. I'm an education consultant representing Enabling Education Network, which is a global information sharing and learning network supporting innovation and critical thinking on inclusion, equity and rights in education. I'm here to present some learnings that our team has been involved in over the years through multiple projects with our partners. EENet has been developing experience and learning on inclusive education for children with disabilities, children who are marginalised or excluded, and children who are diverse or have different learning needs. We've engaged in projects and documented projects, especially from middle income and low income countries and post-conflict countries. In one of our recent projects during 2019 and 2020, EENet had a film project capturing some of this inclusive practice in early childhood settings. This began with consultation in March 2019, compiling ideas for the films and then filming with our partners in 2 different locations. The locations were the Ukraine, as you see here, and Eswatini in Southern Africa, working with 4 of our different partners and filming early childhood settings mostly located in what had been neighbourhood care points. As a result, EENet developed a video-based training program called Inclusive Beginnings. It's designed to help educators who are trying to become more welcoming and supportive of diverse learners. So just to be clear, these are not the only projects EENet has been involved in. They were just the locations where filming for the video-based training took place. The training package presents a collation of EENet's learning from these multiple different projects. In this presentation, I'll give you a snapshot of some of our learnings. I'm going to touch on age-appropriate approaches, resources, and individualised support. Let's take a look at this short video clip of inclusive early childhood settings.
Preschool, early learning centre, daycare, childcare, or another name. Whatever we call them, all settings must be inclusive. In this video, you will experience some simple ways in which early childhood educators in any setting can improve their day-to-day practice and become more inclusive.
Many of us will have seen early childhood settings using school-like type of instruction, meant for older children, formal instruction, large group teaching approaches, and a focus on the direct teaching of reading or maths. In inclusive education, we expect to support and welcome a child who's developing at a different rate or pace, but formal instruction with predetermined content to be learned could set that same child up for alienation and a sense of failure. It doesn't leave much room for the diverse learning pathways that we expect to celebrate in inclusive education, and it begins to paint children as capable or not capable. There are important skills that do prepare children for school and later life, but children who are busy learning academic skills can be deprived of this age-appropriate learning and development they are ready for. So let's take a look at another little video clip showing age-appropriate learning for the early years.
Inclusive early development and education experiences centred around play build the foundation for a lifelong enjoyment of learning.
The little one, when you teach the little one, you just lay a foundation. So you can't just build a house with no foundation.
Making connections between home, life, the community, and learning is another important way that inclusive early childhood educators help to build a child's desire for learning. Early childhood educators focus on children's interests to nurture their creativity and curiosity, skills that will help the children as they grow.
kwa usu.
Hayi mina ngicelela mina.
Another message we find coming out of inclusive education programs we're involved in is that inclusive education is simply quality education. Or more clearly, when education settings are improved with the needs of diverse learners in mind, the improvements benefit everyone. You might have heard of universal design for learning, where learning methods, materials, environments are designed to be accessible for all. So the beauty of early childhood years is that all of us expect children in this age bracket to be diverse. Diverse in their interests and preferences, diverse in their capabilities and skills. So well-designed early childhood settings have this in mind and will be prepared with a wide range of resources and spaces. When I say a wide range of resources and spaces, it may sound like we're suggesting that early childhood spaces are improved through investing in better resources and equipment, but this is far from what we mean. Resource-rich environments can be, and in our experience are developed with low-cost and no-cost resources. A lesson we have learned that can be generalised to other contexts is that low-cost resources are not only good for settings with few resources, so this is not just to save on expense. Using everyday and familiar resources found in local communities demonstrates to families that the same learning can be done at home and makes the child's learning more meaningful as it connects to their real world. There is an increasing movement in early childhood settings around the world away from manufactured toys to what we're calling loose parts. This is simply a collection of items that are found, recycled, collected. They can be moved, carried, combined, lined up, stacked, taken apart, put back together in any number of different ways, and they have no boundaries. So what is it that makes these resources and equipment good for inclusive education? It's the way they're organised, the way they're made available, the way that children are supported to interact with them. Are there enough so that children can play in groups? Are they stored where children can find and access them and put them away? Are children free to use them in multiple ways according to their preferences and capabilities? Are there a range of different resources for different developmental areas and different levels of challenge? These are the types of questions that tell us how inclusive they are, not whether they were specially designed for a specially designed toy from the latest catalogue. And the flexibility of low-cost resources and loose parts makes them ideal for inclusive education. So no matter what age, level of ability or needs, children can explore materials in ways suitable for them. A misunderstanding that can slip in is that early childhood development and education is just about leaving children to play and sitting back. There's so much to be said for the role of the educator in play-based inclusive learning environments. So we can see that when early childhood settings are play-based, children with disabilities or diverse needs can be offered the appropriate support they need without needing to be marginalised, singled out or segregated. The individualised learning and support in a play-based setting is something that's offered to all children with or without disabilities. So through nurturing relationships, adults can join in children's play, interact with them, notice their efforts and achievements, and they can intentionally extend their play or add more knowledge, ideas or dimensions, and they can provoke the children's interests with activities or resources that they set up. This slide shows a summary of 3 important learnings that we've collated about what inclusive early education looks like. It's a place where children are welcomed, celebrated and valued for who they are here and now, supported to be and thrive in the present.